Memphis, Tennessee. It's the city where Federal Express began, Martin Luther King died, and Elvis Presley was born. Well, okay, he was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, but you get the point. Like a lot of other people, we went to Memphis in August for Elvis Week. Elvis Week is a phenomenon like no other. The annual gathering of Elvis tribes engulfs the city in t-shirt wearing, credit card packing tourists, offering die-hard fans the opportunity to show their love for the king, celebrate his passing, and spend, spend, spend. What they don't tell you at Graceland is that Memphis isn't exactly a city fit for a king. Like Elvis, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. And this is the story of what we discovered during our week here. When we first got to Memphis, an old man warned us there are two things you never joke about: religion and Elvis. Consider yourself warned.
Happy Elvis Week, Memphis.
Elvis Week is a tribute week to his passing in '77.
Elvis Week is really for all the fans to be able to come together.
Everybody's nice, well, most of them anyway.
They made it a grand event, which mostly to help generate income for the city.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
This year he's been there for 24 years.
And he's more famous now than he was when he was living.
It's devil worship, I tell you.
Basically just large gathering of Elvis people, you know, you get the crazy ones, you get the cool ones.
These fans are so devoted. I mean, they love the guy.
I love Elvis.
We love you, Elvis.
There's too many different fans from all over the U.S. and also out of the U.S.
It brings in a lot of tourism.
Hello, Elvis. Hello, buddy.
Happy anniversary.
Peace, Elvis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I mean, I get Germans and Hollanders and stuff. A lot of Europeans come here.
I am from Evian.
All the way from Scotland.
New York, Long Island. Michigan.
Richmond, St. Louis, Florence, Alabama.
Branson, Missouri.
I was born in Memphis.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say how long ago, but
So you're a lifelong Elvis fan?
Yes, I am. I am, yes. Very lifelong Elvis fan.
He's my all-time favorite, that's for sure.
Not exactly, but I like it sometimes, some of the things he's singing.
I was raised on Elvis, so I can't help it. I was born and bred. My mom's a big Elvis freak.
Elvis gave a lot to me in my life. He's given me pleasure. He's driven me out of seclusion.
One of our first stops was Elvis Presley's Memphis, a theme restaurant whose bartender quickly became our unofficial tour guide.
When I got the job working for the Elvis Presley Enterprises, I had always thought, yeah, he was a bigot, a dummy, and I never really cared. I was 7 years old when he left the building. The only thing I knew about Elvis is I had a tin metal lunchbox and a couple of 45s. You have to learn Elvis trivia, and you have to learn about him and stuff, so when people ask you questions. But the thing is everything they told me, and it was a book about the yay thick. You know, everything they told me, no one asked me those questions, because everybody who comes here knows all of that already.
I've had people in my carriage and ask me if I think he's still alive. I mean, and they're not joking. And I'm like, well, according to the coroner.
Do you think he's still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you really?
I always have. I always have. Well, just think, this would be the week for him to show up in Memphis.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why this year?
Well, because everybody'd say, hey, that looks like Elvis. I'd say, oh, no, that doesn't look like Elvis at all, and it would probably be him.
Well, I just came up here to celebrate the time I was supposed to have died, man, but as you can see, I really didn't. My memory's still alive. Thank you very much.
Those people, you know, you can, they need to go some exercise somewhere, get straightened out, but anyway.
Every day since I've been here, I've met someone who knew him as a kid or claimed to know him.
Oh, he was a great guy. I mean, I remember him at Liberty Land. He had his daughter, and he would rent the whole place out just to take his daughter to go through the park.
He shocked the world with his, with his eccentrics, the shaking and the way he played and everything, and he just brought it up into a head and create that first sex appeal superstar that America had never had but was hungry for.
I love him since I don't even know, 8 years old. She's not into him like me. I just dragged her along because I needed somebody to go.
I still enjoy listening to him. He got most of the beautiful voice out there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people more appreciate him because he's a humble man.
he embarrassed one of the singers on the stage, and when the show was over, he went and took a ring off, it was worth $50,000 and handed it to him. He said, I apologize.
So you're Thelma and she's Louise?
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it's more Lucy and
Ethel.
Yeah, Lucy and Ethel. I want to try to get to all the stars and get their autographs, climb over the fences.
Do you like Elvis?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't live here.
Woo!
I guess I do.
You do?
So,
There's 12. There's 3 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Here, and then the Elvis angel. You get hooked. You get hooked.
What'd you get this year?
The angel on the back. It says, welcome to my world. If I was going to get into tattooing, it better be something that I really and truly love. And I said, hey, I take all my photographs in, whatever I want done. With this one right here? That one's Charles. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I'm from Michigan. I do it every year with every car, but just by happen, I know she looks like a clunker, but she runs like crazy. She got us here. This was my mother's van that was given to me prior to her death. So Grandma came with us. I have my mother with me, and it's really, really coincidental that this year is the 23rd. She was born in 1923. The rose is in the signature with Elvis, all the buttons that has the rose. Her name was Rose. So I'm here with my mother, Elvis, and the good Lord above.
How would you describe Elvis in one word?
He is the best, and I don't care how many years you go, there'll never be nobody top him. There'll never be another Elvis. I don't care who you are, what you are, because they ain't gonna last.
This is the Delta. This is where Delta blues came from. This is where Elvis Presley was born and brought into music.
When he was coming up, it was my music to, I mean, we partied with his music, that was it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that when he was alive, he was the only artist. If you went down the radio dial, you'd find him on country, gospel, and rock.
Yeah.
He crossed over.
What's your favorite Elvis song?
Haven't got one, too many to name one.
An Elvis fan can't just distinguish one.
The first one, It All Shook Up.
American Trilogy.
Wooden Heart.
Probably Mystery Train.
Wonder of You.
Can't Help Falling in Love.
Burning Love.
Burning Love.
Burning Love.
Don't Be Cruel.
Suspicious Minds. Suspicious Minds.
Suspicious Minds.
I don't know. I don't know any Elvis. I ain't never listened to one song.
Are you lonesome tonight?
I liked a lot of the older ones, like Just Pretend. You know, he was going through a hard time. I was going through a hard time.
I like pretty much all of them.
I like the faster songs.
I liked them all. I liked every song.
If I'm in my room for 4 or 5 hours, it's Elvis. And I'll go in there angry and come out a better person because I stop, I look, I listen, and say, look, I have a life. Elvis didn't.
There's a song in the movie he did called The Clam. You ever seen that? Yeah, Do the Clam, and they had like a little dance that went on. So The Clam, man, that's my favorite Elvis song. That was a badass movie too, man.
What's your favorite Elvis movie?
That's what it is.
Elvis on Tour is my favorite documentary, and then King Creole is my favorite movie.
The one that I like the most, and I think Elvis enjoyed doing the most because it wasn't a musical vehicle, was Charles.
Oh, he was a good actor. He really was. I'd love to have been in the movie with the women he had in there.
Charles.
Yeah, his Western.
He was rugged looking. Loved him in that.
You been in that Elvis mansion yet?
70 to 90% of the people that visit Graceland are first-time visitors. And you consider how many people go back there all the time.
Right.
That's how crazy it is that place is the second most visited structural attraction next to the White House.
Of course we had to go to Graceland, the King's famous mansion, and ground zero for all that is Elvis during Elvis Week.
Who's ringing for me? Hell, Vassar went home. Vassar, Uncle Vassar's already gone home, baby. Going home to join the King.
All right, thank you very much.
If it wasn't for Elvis Presley and Graceland, this town would be a ghost town. It would not even be here.
I've been to his house once, that's it.
I've been living in Memphis for 40 years. I ain't been to Graceland yet.
I know a lot of my friends that have never been to Graceland, I bring them down here during Elvis Week last couple of years, and you know they enjoyed it.
This morning it was a Graceland for the first time. I cried all my tears. It was wonderful.
He didn't have a really good life. You really stop and think about it. He was secluded at mansion. He couldn't go nowhere. He couldn't do nothing. You really look at anybody in the world that's ever came up, at least they go somewhere. That man couldn't do nothing.
If you go down into Graceland and you actually read the things that are down there and you look around, you listen to the people that worked with him, his cooks and everybody, he was a really average guy.
We got to Graceland on the morning of the Elvis Presley International 5K run. We were sure it'd be Elvis Mania, but apparently there weren't too many die-hard fans in Memphis this year.
Last year was a lot bigger than this year. There's nobody here this year. It's just an off year.
Are you an Elvis fan?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, you don't say that very enthusiastically.
I'm more out here for cerebral palsy than Elvis.
Are you an Elvis fan?
Oh yeah, I listen to it. Sometimes, you know, just.
But you're not out here for Elvis?
Oh, not really.
I'm not that much into it, man.
Elvis is dead.
To me, he never meant squat.
What do you think of the Elvis madness that's going on here this year?
Honestly, I wasn't aware of an Elvis madness, man. What is that? Something happening this week?
Well, it's like it's Elvis week.
Oh no shit.
Is he from Memphis? I don't know. Okay, I don't know nothing about Elvis.
Man, I don't know even like Elvis. You know something? I ran down Elvis Presley past his house. I tell him leave the damn man alone. He dead.
Did you guys win?
Here's what he asked. Of course we won.
All right.
The king always wins. That's why they call him the king.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Go catch a jelly donut.
Are you excited about the big Elvis show tonight?
Really?
The Elvis concert?
Yeah.
The Elvis concert.
Well, he's an Elvis impersonator.
I do Elvis shows. I do a lot of benefit shows for kids, all children's hospitals, St. Jude's type of thing.
Real dark, black-haired looks just like Elvis. Gets up on the stage with his clothes on.
Is there a lot of competition in?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of us out there.
My business card says salute to Elvis. So I do it as a tribute to him and his music.
You ought to hear him sing.
And most of these Elvis guys just do it for their own time and because they enjoy it.
Now, some of them are just dumbasses. But I mean, you can read between. You can look at an idiot and see, a quality musician.
You see a lot of performers, and you can tell whether it's coming from the heart or whether they're just doing it for a paycheck.
He is awesome.
When you're doing your show, I mean, do you really feel like you're sort of channeling his music then?
Oh yeah. I really get into it.
I mean, you close your eyes, you think Elvis up on the stage.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how good he is.
Put you in a high. That's what I enjoy about it. I really enjoy it. And how it affects people. And the more they enjoy it, the more I enjoy it.
You know the star, look in the sky. You know the reason why.
I enjoy it. I get high on it.
If nobody ever wanted to hear me sing again, I'd still be the greatest fan ever. I'd never stop loving him. He's the one and only. He's the king.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
we decided to visit Kong Reed, the King's longtime karate instructor, who offers free tours of his studio during Elvis Week. Kong also sells glossy photos of Elvis in full karate regalia, and even autographs them, no extra charge. On the day we went, a group of Elvis fans from Scotland had just arrived, and we stuck around to check out Kong's karate prowess and expert salesmanship.
Warm welcome, Memphis, Tennessee, Kong Institute. Since Elvis passing through here, and then Elvis touched me, and he making me much more value. Part of my contribution to Elvis, as well as the Memphis. I like to maybe taking them. I like to more welcome Memphis area. So their time and their money, their dedication is much more worth. That's why I'm here for.
We also met Wayne Carman at Kong's that day. Wayne studied karate with Elvis too, and even wrote a book about the King's commitment to martial arts. He also signs autographs, especially if you buy his book, which is on special today for $30.
Mr. Carman, right here.
I'm down here right now promoting our book. Elvis's Karate Legacy. This talks about the time Elvis first started training in Germany, all the way to the time of his death, his martial arts career. It was something that turned out to be a real experience in my life, just experienced it, and I now try to carry on his TCB karate teaching goals that he wanted to do.
Do you get a lot more business during Elvis Week?
Oh yeah.
Sun up to sundown, you're working.
Elvis Week's a lot more than ordinary days.
I wonder how much money people spend too, like on all the stuff every year. But
thousands and thousands.
Lots of people spend money and time, come down, dedicate to the him.
It's money. It's money, money, money.
Elvis has always been a money pot.
Yeah.
But maybe they should give people a chance, a better chance to be creative.
It's just like Disney World exhibits, Disneyland type thing, and after they finish viewing the exhibits, they go to the gift shop and usually they come out with a yo-yo or a frisbee or a pencil or a keychain. And then people stand around and take photographs.
How about some taking pictures? The lady first and then next big man. Elvis. He touched me like gold from rock.
If you sell Elvis souvenirs and somebody's stopping by, they're just gonna pick something up for a friend of theirs who likes Elvis.
They flock to him and they buy all their dolls and they buy all their things that are easy to commercialize, that have so much appeal that no matter what you stick their name on, they're gonna buy it.
What's your necklace say? It says Graceland. It has the Graceland gates.
I've got a TCB necklace. The best thing he gave me was his friendship.
I think what they need is a more creative outlet for the people here. Instead of just me, they need to have people walk around with notebooks that ask them why they love Elvis, so that there's a way for the fans to really give back instead of just through money.
I got a set of Elvis decanters, music.
There were patches that Elvis wore on his uniform, the TCB, the crown, and the Congaree patch.
I used to be in the wholesale liquor business. When these bottles came out, I bought 18 sets of them. And I've held on to them, and now,
Those are the same price as the pictures, and they can be combined with these. Of course, you can get 3 pictures in one patch, or 2 pictures. All of the pictures are in stock, whatever you'd like to do a sale. This book basically gives you a very detailed account of Elvis's martial arts. There were patches that Elvis wore on his uniform, the TCB, the crown, and the Congaree patch. those are the same price as the pictures, and they can be combined for the discount. In other words, you can get 3 pictures in one batch, or if you would like to get a certificate, whatever you'd like to do, an honorary member of the Passeru Association, Passeru being the style of martial arts that Elvis studied. You can become an honorary member.
There's $3.
There's an honorary membership package.
I sign it to you and date it, like Bill Street on the date. And then the color ones are, like I said, 55.
We have these books on special today for $30.
Those are 45. Actually, if you buy it here now,
These are $8 if you buy 4 or more, it's worth $25. So that's a pretty good deal.
Colors, like this one's 55. This one's, whatever I decide. If you make me an offer, I can dick her.
We decided to check out the first annual Elvis Presley Memorial Golf Tournament, held in a suburb south of Memphis. We didn't find too many Elvis fans, though, just a few stray golfers teeing off. But next year, we were told, a local casino will transform the golf tournament into a grand event.
One of the casinos is wanting to do it at their place. Not mentioning any names until everything's all in contract there, but it is a major hotel casino that is already helping promote by offering prizes this year.
Since the suburbs weren't exactly teeming with Elvis activity, we skipped the rest of the golf tournament and went looking for what else Memphis had to offer.
The only thing this town has is music and Southern heritage, but mostly music. I mean, that's basically what Nashville and Memphis' main economy is built on.
Anybody who lives here knows that there's, a lot more out there than just Elvis.
Memphis is the home to so many, blues and stuff like that. It's got music in its blood. It ought to be something here.
Everything's here. Like I said, you just got to know where to find it.
This is the home of the Delta Blues. This is where the first blues recording was ever made.
So many people associate, as far as music, Elvis with Memphis, and there's so much other music that's come out of here.
Rock and roll blues.
Hard rock bands, there's alternative.
And the hip hop here is really hard too.
They try to keep it as low key as possible, just basically keep the cops out.
Local musicians, if you find them, they're gonna tell you, if you're not Elvis, you're not crap in Memphis,
I'm not much into Elvis. A lot of tourists that come here are, but I just never got into Elvis that much.
I'm really not an Elvis fan.
Elvis?
Yeah.
He's dead, isn't he?
He's dead, and he's on LSD.
And a lot of the kids that you meet on the street here, they're into real heavy music. That's like the underground scene in Memphis, it's just the heavy metal music.
I'm in a band called Fleshized. Wally here's in a band called From Within.
There's a lot of local bands that are really good. Like have you heard of Saliva?
You're gonna start hearing names like 3 Doors Down, bands like this that are really coming out. They come out of this Mid-South area, that rock and roll.
What kind of music we do, man? Death metal. Death metal.
They used to grew up with that rock, hard music.
Hardcore, death metal, thrash, that sort of thing.
Right. They do have the heavy riffs,
right?
And they do have the harsh lyrics, but the lyrics here are more overtone. They say things other than what they sound like.
Right.
If they talk about ripping my mother's head off, it doesn't mean that they literally walk up and rip their mother's head off. Do you do any Elvis songs?
That's kind of funny you mentioned that, because me and Casey were talking about trying to pull off, Don't Be Cruel. He doesn't know the words. Maybe he could gurgle them out or something.
Do you get a lot of requests for Elvis songs?
Not really.
No?
I mean, maybe 10% tops, A lot of people just want to hear some good old rock and roll. But nice to meet you guys. My name's Jared.
All right.
Hope y'all enjoy your trip here to Memphis, and I'm going to try to play you guys the best song that I can.
저녁에 다운타운 그 B 스트리트
We're going to Beale Street.
Yeah,
We're going to
that's
Beale
fun.
Street, yes.
Yeah, Beale Street, it's more of a tourist thing, but I know a lot of people in town that'll go down there to hang out, you know, because they've got the blues club and they do rock shows down there sometimes. Right. And they've got entertainment on the streets, and it's fun. You're into that kind of thing.
It's kind of like Bourbon Street in New Orleans, whereas it has basically its own rules. The only rules to Bourbon Street and to Beale Street in reality is whatever you want to do, it's available, do it.
It's real violent down there. Like, really bad violence.
The crowds get obnoxious and there's lots of fighting and lots of crime.
Windows break. One of the bouncers out here got thrown through a window last year. I mean, it's just nasty.
People cannot behave in public, generally. They have the horse and carriage rides and stuff in the restaurants. Most of the bars were shut down on July 4th because people were throwing firecrackers, shooting bottle rockets, throwing their explosives into the buildings, at people, at the horses. The carriages went in early that day, you know, and the police were being people were throwing bottles and stuff at the police officers.
It just ain't friendly no more. Everybody's dog eat. It's just people living too fast. They're enjoying too much stuff. They're not sitting on with their family like they should be.
It just mostly has to do with probably alcohol. Alcohol ignorance.
Very nice. Very nice.
It was our last day in Memphis. We had to be back at Graceland that night to attend the Candlelight Vigil, the final event of Elvis Week. But before we left, we wanted to get away from the tourist spots for a while and find out how the King's legacy touched other parts of the city.
I like Memphis. Everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna move, but not me.
Memphis has got everything, even Federal Express.
It's like a big city right in the middle of a small town.
It's kind of a small town with big city attitude.
But without the lackadaisical southern attitude, you know, it would probably be freeway shootings every 5 minutes.
You can be in a neighborhood that's got $300,000 homes, and if you go over 2 blocks, there's a trailer park.
It's really divided. And the majority of the urban area inside the city limits of Mississippi, or in Memphis anyway, are mostly urban black. On the east side of town, which is basically the suburban sprawl, when everybody was running out of the downtown, it got more and more urban. Almost all predominantly middle class to upper class white.
It depends on the area you're in. I mean, every area has crime, of course, but you know, certain areas have more than others. So as long as you stay out of the really bad areas, you're all right.
We ended up in a really bad area, a part of Memphis called Hollywood. Appropriate considering Elvis was such a big movie star. We found out pretty quickly that this was not Elvis's Hollywood.
Hollywood Boulevard the other day?
Oh yeah, that's one of the parts of town you want to stay away from, definitely.
Oh brother, it's a bad neighborhood too. What are you doing over there?
I've been down there once or twice after I drop a friend off that lives in that area, and I stay out of it.
All the places in the Memphis, you have to stop over there.
I don't care what you're going through this morning. Jesus Christ came to set you free. Jesus died to set you free. And the record states that he that the Son makes free, it is free indeed.
I know down at Graceland, you probably don't see the poverty that's here. There's a lot of poverty here too. You know, a lot of people that are very poor, and there's a lot of people that's here living on the streets and everything, and really they just don't have anywhere to go. Yeah. So there's a lot of social issues that frankly doesn't need to be addressed. They won't call it an epidemic, but that's really what it is.
Down here?
The drugs. Yeah. I believe that is one of the. I didn't say that it is the worst problem that we have here, but it's one of the worst problems that we have, and that's all over. That's all over the United States. It's everywhere.
Everybody talks about crime and stuff like that, but it's bad everywhere. It's just people I don't know.
Well, as you come here as a tourist, you don't have to worry about boys being mugged too fast or anything like that, you know. Sure. I think it's fairly a peaceful city, you know. Yeah. But it's just certain parts. I mean, as there is certain parts you go to, then you have to be very cautious.
It's gone from tourists and a lot of white people to just, you feel like you're in the hood. I mean, like in a movie, you know, like Boys in the Hood movie. I mean, it's just very stereotypical.
Man, I won't go out the back door at night. You know, when it gets dusk out, I'm in the house. That's it.
Things have become so sophisticated, and so many people have become so organized in illegal activity. It's kind of hard to grasp. It's kind of hard to, put your hand on.
There's some sections of Memphis that, yeah, we know it's old. We know nothing has air conditioning. We know nothing has, heating or, anything like that. But we're fine with that. We're not going to do anything about it because it's part of our history. Everything that they have here that they don't want to upgrade, they say, well, it's part of our history, so we're not going to do it. Well, not having plumbing is part of America's history, but we're doing it now.
It's all segregated to rent structure. They try to act like it's not, but try to find a house in Memphis for what it's worth. And the only reason they do that is to prevent certain people from being able to afford to live there.
It's very divided. I guess that's wherever you go, I think, and dealing with politics, then you have those who are in power, then you have those that are not in power. You have those that grasp the power and hold on to the power and try to keep the power within their means.
The mayor on the outside of the county is white, the mayor on the inside of the city is black. And they're always battling for businesses and everything and all the policies and all the stuff. They throw down a lot with that. A lot of people don't talk about it though, but it happens.
You cannot legislate change, and you cannot, take a man and do something with him if he don't want you to do anything with him.
Do you think that the whole MLK assassination taking place here?
I think that has a lot to do with the attitude. It's hard to get over stuff like that. The whole race issue deal here in Memphis, this place is kind of like 1965 to me, in my opinion, because the tension here is a little nasty. The word nigger gets thrown around out there so much you wouldn't believe it.
It's kind of like going back in time, coming here for a lot of reasons, and that's one of them. It's just everywhere.
And there's a lot of older, more bitter people who still get treated pretty badly.
Here in Memphis, I think it's a lot. It got a lot to do with the older generation. They're still hung up on race, and different things, So race is still an issue here too.
You got a lot of people who don't want change. They don't want massive construction. They're trying to prevent them from building a highway through the downtown. They like things the way they are.
The times have changed. Everybody's moving too fast. Them days were slow. We had CYOs, and then we'd have dances.
Yeah.
Kids today don't know nothing about all that.
I think with the younger generation, they just don't care.
This generation don't care about all that.
I believe it is our responsibility as a human race, to try, to at least try to, touch a life and try to make a difference.
On our way back from Hollywood, we stopped at the Lorraine Motel, part of the National Civil Rights Museum, and a tribute to Memphis's other king.
Lorraine Motel? No. I've been living here 40 years. I ain't been Elvis Presley yet.
I spent all my time talking to the lady across the street. She looked a lot more interesting than Ed did. So I went over and I just sat there and looked at all her memorabilia and listened to her talk about it.
I just can't stand to see the way Dr. King's memory is being mishandled. At the Lorraine Motel, the site of the assassination of Reverend King, they set up a museum. It's just like Disney World exhibits, Disneyland type thing. And after they finish viewing the exhibits, they go to the gift shop, and usually they come out with a yo-yo or a frisbee or a pencil or a keychain. And then people stand around and take photographs. And I don't think he sacrificed all that he did, so we would build monuments, statues, and memorials to commemorate him or to memorialize him. And I think that his memory could benefit our society today if we would use his memory to help improve things now. Instead of the Lorraine Motel being a civil rights museum, it ought to be a facility to practice the principles of Reverend King and carry on his work. He dedicated his life to serving mankind. And I think that he was trying to live out his life as an example for us to follow, for us, showing us how we should be our brother's keeper. They do a lot of singing, a lot of marching, a lot of praying, and a lot of, talking and preaching, but they just have not incorporated the practicing of King's principles on his holiday celebration. And I was a former tenant of the Lorraine Motel. I had lived and worked there for 12 years. And when the state got ready to convert the motel into the Civil Rights Museum, they threw us out, even though we were the ones who kept the Lorraine alive, but we got put out when they got ready to improve it. And so I just decided to stay where they put me, and I've been living outside in front of the Lorraine Motel for 12 years and a half now. I don't have no intentions of going any place because the area surrounding the Lorraine Motel is being gentrified, and I've noticed since the museum opened up, a lot of people are being displaced from this street and in the surrounding area. Dr. King didn't come to Memphis for this to be happening to this community. He came here to help the community, to uplift the community. So for those particular reasons, I'll be here. The difference between Elvis's house and the Lorraine Motel and Dr. King and Elvis, they both were doing two different things. Dr. King was a theologian and Elvis was an entertainer. And so Elvis lived that type of life. He lived a life of glamour and glitz and whatever money could buy, he had it, to see. But that wasn't the case with Reverend King.
From one King's grave to another, we wound up at Graceland again for the final event of Elvis Week. The candlelight vigil, where thousands of fans had gathered to say goodbye once again. For them, this was Christmas, and Elvis, their Christ. But these are things you don't joke about in Memphis, Tennessee.
There are a lot of people fled in for the vigil.
Obviously, we'll be at the vigil.
They open it around 9:30. They do the opening ceremony, and people go up and down. I mean, you can go as many times as you want. Usually it takes so long to go through the line that people usually do it just once. But it goes usually about 6:30 in the morning.
The last time we were here, we waited 5.5 hours.
They always put a count out after the vigil of how many people went up. They usually base that on how many people are in town. If you're in town for Elvis, you're going to go up to vigil.
Most people go there, they get emotional, excited, or mad or angry or whatever.
I come here every year just to show him tribute, to show him how much I endure being here, meeting with the fans. This is a big old family reunion for me. I've gained to know a lot of people, and I'm saddened year after year because there are people that were older that I don't see anymore. And I'm wondering, where are they? Are they gone? But they're all here.
I don't have any problem with the way that Elvis is remembered. In my opinion, they remember him according to how he lived.
I've never seen fan worship like this for any other artist in my life.
Elvis, yeah, Elvis!
There'll never be another one like him. He's the king.
Your voice, but I can't see your face. Elvis, where are you, Elvis? You and your songs, where is the past that I It only seems like yesterday that I first heard Heartbreaker tell you, see, I had your pictures all around my walls. You were my cause, a different life for me.
and forever I'll feel that warm embrace. Elvis, where are you, Elvis? I hear your voice, but I can't see your face.
So we will be back every year?
I will for as long as the good Lord will let me.
What keeps bringing them back? It's just more and more devotion. Kids pass down from grandparents to parents to the next deal, and more children. Everybody he just has some kind of overwhelming appeal.
A legend. He's a legend. Kind of American legend. And what I like about it, he's just all age groups. He affects all age groups.
He's the true entertainer. Let's say appearance. And he's the king of the rock and roll.
It's a shame he died so young. Of course, because he died young, he's so famous after he's dead. But what's the good to have after he's dead?
He knew he was blessed, and with the fortunes that he made, he loved giving it away. And I've never ever met anybody again before or since him that loved giving like he did.
Yeah.
He was raised poor, so he knew what it was like not being able to get something that you wanted.
He would come home from school, walk by this lady every day, and she would give him a glass of milk and cookies. And he remembered that when he got famous, he took a catalog and put it in her front door, gave it to him.
I can't say enough about what he's done for me. He's just wonderful. He's had more talent than God.
He's a king. There'll never be enough.
We here, we need to focus more on what really matters, you know.
Yeah, what really matters?
What really matters is loving your neighbor, you know, caring about other people, you know. The number one rule, the cardinal rule, love your neighbor as yourself. Yeah. We the church, if we could get that, if we get there, I'm just saying here in Memphis, see, then I believe Memphis would be a better place to live.
What are we shooting?
Is it for the CNN?
Not quite.
This gets kind of nasty. You may not even want to use this.
What's the doctor's name?
George Stefan.
George Nick Collins.
I had one guy on one side of the bar, one guy on the other, and they were going at it to see which one of them knew more. I said, well, all right, whoever knows the most, I'll buy you a drink.
I thought I saw you. I thought I saw you. Aye. Writing your name in the wall. I was watching you.
Basically, they just kept going back and forth. This guy goes, well, Jerry Lee Lewis was so jealous of him, Elvis, he tried to climb the fence at Graceland with a shotgun to assassinate him and had him arrested. The other guy goes, yeah, everybody knows that. And then they got to the part where they said, you know, Elvis died on the pot. And I said, all right, yeah, but nobody likes to talk about that. And that's the off-color subject, so we don't talk about that here.
Do you like dogs?
Yes. Cats too, though.
Do you like dogs?
Yes.
Here, I'm going to make you a little bread. Cover that. There you go. Woof, 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 woof.
Then the other guy goes, yeah, but did you know that he had 30 pounds of bowels, or of stuff in his bowels? And I said, get out. Out now, you're fired, you're out, you're done. Ended up buying the other guy a drink, threw the other guy out, said, don't ever come back in here again, that was disgusting. No one needs to know that.
Y'all want to hear a love song? Hey, is Brad Eldridge in the house yet?